2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first installment of the RailCats Talk podcast. I am Kyle Savetich, and am I excited to bring this. I've covered doing sports, podcasting, video games, all that kind of stuff throughout my little life here, journeying out and different things like that. But the one thing that is always exciting to me is small town baseball, basically, and this is what we have with the Gary South Shore RailCats. Yeah, it's in Gary, it's in a city, but it's small town baseball. All right, all the American Association League is a small town baseball league. It's the purest form of baseball there is. All right, it's a bunch of young athletes, older athletes, still wanting to play the sport they love. Yeah, it may not be at the highest level, but it's still a professional league. All right, these players are still getting paid. There are fans that go there to watch them. They bring excitement to the game of baseball, America's pastime. And baseball is one of those sports where you can always rely on it. All right, and what I mean by that is when you even look at MLB, there's 162 games, and at least every day there's a game on, or your team is playing every day. I mean, they have a couple games here and there that are off, but baseball is the most consistent form of sports that you have as far as the days. Yeah, you have football that's once a week. You have basketball that's every other day. You have hockey that's every other day. And sometimes you have back-to-backs, but it's not consistent. You know what I'm saying? It's not a consistent, you can always kind of count on it a little bit there. But I think what we need more of is, we have a bunch of people that like to talk about the big leagues, the big times, and because that's what everyone's revolving around. But I think we are at a point in life, or in the era that we live in, that it's easy to access small time stuff. You have a professional baseball team in the state of Indiana, in the northwest state part of Indiana, which is right there next to Chicago. Yeah, you have the Chicago Dogs and so on, but this is the Gary RailCats, right? Gary South Shore RailCats, and then that's who we're gonna cover. That's who I want to cover. That's what I've always wanted to cover a team and be excited to cover a team, no matter what it is. And the nice thing about small town baseball, or a professional league that isn't double A or high single, double, triple, the major leagues, is it's still a part of the NBA, or not the NBA, the MLB. And I'm gonna sometimes I go on little tangents, but majority of the stuff I'm not going to cut out. The only times I'll cut anything out if I really don't like a take that I made, or someone interrupts me or something like that. But I'll make mistakes. We all make mistakes here. So I want it to be the purest form, almost as if I was on the radio and you hear the purest form of radio. Now, sometimes in radio they edit stuff in here, but it's talk radio, and most of the time that stuff's not edited. But I want my raw emotions. I want other people's raw emotions to be a part of this. I don't want it to be this cookie cutter, clean cut, this is by the book how it's going to be. It doesn't need to be that way. This is what this is all about. But getting back to, the Gary South Shore RailCats here, is that these players, some of them are still playing to get recruited by, a professional team, by an MLB team, to get into the double, the triple A, the single A's. And some may have been drafted, but quite aren't to that point yet, and they are seeking elsewhere to be. So it's not like these players are playing for something. They're playing for someone. They're playing for something. They're wanting to continue their career, and I think as RailCats fans, as fans of this league, you want to root for everyone on your team at least to make it to the next level or see them succeed. You know, it's very possible to watch people succeed and be successful. And I think at that point, it's exciting to watch, and I think the RailCats do a great job of trying to get in with the community, try to bring back to the community, and I think as a community, the best thing that we can do is cover them, go to their games, be happy for them when they succeed. You know, even if they lose or they don't succeed or it's a bad game, you still find the positives, because these athletes, that's what they need. They need positivity. They don't need to be broken down. And I think that's the best part of it is you look at the MLB teams, you look at higher teams, everyone finds something to pick on a player about. You know, they're playing at the highest level and they have to be at the highest level all the time. And if they make a mistake, you got to tear them down and just keep tearing them down. But I don't think this is what this league is about. And I think it's a fun, pure form of baseball, and it's for everyone. I mean, they have things for kids. Adults can still be there and have fun. I mean, I haven't heard a single person ever say, yeah, I went to a RailCats game and I absolutely hated it. The environment sucked. No, I don't think the environment sucks at all. The field is magnificent. Steelyard is a beautiful field. Right smack there. You can see it's right there next to I-90. And, you know, you get to see the trains go by. You know, it's right there in Gary. And I know what people say about Gary, but it's still, I feel secure going to the RailCats game. I feel that I can bring my family and we can sit down and watch a baseball game and not feel like something's going to happen. It's the same thing, you know, you go to White Sox games. It's on the south side of Chicago. You hear things about south side of Chicago. I don't mind going to a game and leaving at 11:30 at night. Or the west side, I'm a big hockey fan. I love the Blackhawks. I go to the United Center. I don't feel leaving there at 10:30, 11:30 at night that something bad's going to happen. And that's what I feel like at the RailCats game. I love it. It's great baseball to watch, and I'm just excited to bring it to life, to have something to be covered, because I think a lot of times that people that aren't able to pay for a subscription to watch them or always go to the games, but they want to feel like they still want to follow the team. And I think this is one way to do it. And, you know, you're just not always reading news articles. You're not always reading tweets. You know, maybe you like to be in your car and maybe you want to hear about the RailCats. Podcasts are perfect for that. And that's what I want to bring. And for right now, I'm going to mostly stay on YouTube. I think YouTube's a very accessible platform for most people to be a part of. Maybe even Facebook, but I think YouTube is more of a, you know, yes, it's for videos, but I still think this is something that I'm going to roll with. That'll eventually move to different platforms like Spotify or Apple Play, that kind of stuff, you know, whatever Apple's platform for music, you know, things like that. I'll probably move to different along the lines, but I want to get this in motion a little bit. I want to interact with people. I want to, you know, be able to follow games and have other people's opinions and, you know, stuff like that. Really bring life to the RailCats and the American Association League. I think that's a good thing to support local teams in general. I mean, it's always a fun thing to do, is, you know, you get to support a team and you can really be happy for them, you know, win or lose, whatever the case may be. And that's one thing that, you know, I think in today's age, we need a sense of simplicity and reliability. And I think if you support local teams, they're going to give you that interaction that you may not get with professional teams. You know, you like a player, it's easier to go talk to that player, get an autograph, say hi, follow them through their career. If they're successful, you can tell people, yeah, I know that person. I watched him when he played with the RailCats. I had fun with it. And for me, I want to be able to cover it and have people have opinions. I like having opinions. I'm gonna try now. Before I get too much further into everything, I got a lot that I want to cover. Especially being the first podcast, I want to go through last year's stats, big news changes, stuff like that, and then we'll kind of get in, because I mean the time's a ticking. I mean, the home opener at the time that I'm recording this, it's April 20th, and May 20th is right around the corner, just a month away. But I know the 13th is the opening day, opening weekend week, you want to say, for the American Association. But I want to get these going. I want to cover things, but this is the big bulky one. I'm not going to try to keep everything past 30 minutes. I would say probably under 30 minutes is where I'm going to head, unless it's big news or things like that. But for right now, this is going to be a little bit longer one. I'm going to say it's going to probably push about 45 minutes to an hour. So if you have 45 minutes to an hour with me, I really greatly appreciate if you'd stick along with the ride. But I do work a full-time job, and that full-time job is not 9 to 5. It's not 6 to 2. It's not 4 to noon. It varies. I can work from anywhere from 7 to 3, 1:30 to 9. Like, I work in retail, so I'm all over the place. Majority of the time, I'm working in the mornings, but not all the time am I able to catch a game. I do live a life outside of this. This is a hobby. This is what it is for me, is a hobby, and I want people to take it serious, but not to the point to where you're living or dying by it. I want it to be a good relief, something that's different than listening to someone talk about the Cubs all the time or the White Sox. It's different. Or whoever team you support, this could be heard worldwide. It doesn't really matter, but I just want to, the plan is the games that I will be able to watch, I will either do a post-game podcast, or I'll probably do a post-game podcast that'll come out the next day. Or I know on Twitter they're doing this like MySpace kind of thing, where I can go live after a game and kind of get fan reaction to people that were either at the game or watching it or listening to it. I think that would be fun to do, just to get a little, it doesn't have to be all the time about what the performance was or what you liked throughout the year. I know it's going to be in the beginning of the season, so it's not much, or past times. Get fans from all over, the lifelong fans, the new fans, things like that, just to kind of build it and really be excited about a local team in the RailCats and being able to support them. But so let's go ahead and get into the RailCats here. With last season, they ended it at 39-61, which in the North Division was dead last, and in the overall American Association they were third worst record overall. I mean, the sometimes the issue that I've seen, now I don't always know the inner workings. It's not like your typical MLB where you can kind of understand. There's a lot of things that go on with independent teams like this in a smaller league. Sometimes you sign people from random places, you get random things, random trades, so that's one thing that's going to take me a minute to understand. And if there's people that do understand it better than I do, I would love to hear, the reasoning, or what, why this works or what that works. Eventually I would like to be able to have an interview with a couple of the coaches, front office people. That would be kind of fun. But right now we're just going to keep at the fan level, and hopefully I can understand everything, and then we get along the lines of that. But what it looks like is, majority of the time, that if someone's successful in this league, they're probably going to move on to either a different team or to a different league to get a better look. I think everyone's ultimate goal is to get signed by a MLB team, and that's what everyone's goal should be. When you're with the team, you want the team to win, but as an individual, you still want to be, you want to give it your all and get that chance to play MLB, MLB baseball. Sorry about the noise. The cat in the room is pawing on my hats and my collections, stuff like that. But so I think if you have a down year, that doesn't always mean that down year started out down. It could have started out really good, but then, different teams look at different things and they sign people. You may lose some pieces to your puzzle. So it's kind of hard to build a little bit. I still think you could be successful if you scout, you sign people, you get different trades. But it's kind of like what it feels like is like a high school or a college where sometimes you have people leaving and going and it's kind of out of your control a little bit. So you're always trying to restock and not so much rebuilding, but restock. So I would like to get to know a little bit more of the inner workings of that. It's not just black and white. Neither is like the MLB or the professionals, but it's still, there's some things here and there. So I don't want to say that they were terrible. I mean, listening to the games last year, it seemed like they had a good approach at, they would score a lot of runs, but the pitching kind of seemed a little not fully there. But that's not a knock on the team. It just kind of seems like that's how the league is it's a very high scoring league and you just kind of have to run with it. So maybe, next year we'll see what it's going to turn out to, because it seems like the only returning coaching staff is the pitching coach. So we'll see how that works out, and I'll get into the news of the coaching staff and all that for this year coming up. But so we're just going to go ahead and take a bit of looking into the stats of last year, just the leaders in certain departments of hitting and pitching. I'll get into pitching. Pitching's not a lot, just because it's kind of all over the place, and I don't really think that's it's kind of hard to keep track of that stuff because, I want to look at ERAs, who had the best ERA. Well, you have someone that pitched one inning and has 0 ERA. I mean, that's the last time that he pitched. So it's a lot more difficult to say, yeah, this guy was the best pitcher, or this inning's pitch, so I'll kind of get in a little bit of that. But let's go ahead and look at the team leader in hits, which was Daniel Langlois, who had 88 hits. Alec Olid. Now, if I mispronounce names, I completely apologize. I'm bad with names, so once I hear the names more or get corrections on them, it'll be a little bit easier for me. Now, some of these people may not be on the team anymore. This is just last year's stats. Alec he scored the most runs with 41. Thomas Walraven and Daniel Langlois led the RailCats in doubles at 16. Langlois also tied with Zach Wells for team-leading 5 triples. Walraven had 6 home runs for the most in the team. He also drove in 46 RBIs, which was a team lead as well. The most walks was Daniel Langlois at 45. Hayden Schillings was the most picked on RailCat by getting plunked the most. Hit by pitches 12 times. So that was a couple. I know I kind of went really fast, but that's what we have. Pitching, Trevor Lipking threw 117 innings, which was the league leading most innings pitched. He also struck out 117, kind of weird. 1 inning per, that's good. I would say that's probably a good stat line there, at least 1 inning pitched, you get 1 strikeout. I think in this kind of league, that's pretty good to roll with on that one. Jack Alkire had 6 wins, which was most for the team. Like I said, the team kind of struggled in the win department, so wins were kind of hard to come by. Wins are one of those arguable ones that, do you really look at a pitcher and say, oh, well, he had, 3 wins and 7 losses? Like, is he really that bad of a pitcher? You kind of have to look at the strikeouts, the ERA, walks. That it all kind of goes in, but just going off team leads, stuff like that. Tasker Strobel led the teams with 8 saves. So when I was looking for the ERA, I ended up picking 3 people, just because based on innings pitched. The top 2 that I have with at least 40 innings pitched is Chris Irwin at a 3.10 ERA and Tasker Strobel at a 3.71. But I also put Nolan Clenny in there, who pitched 20.1 innings and it had an ERA of 0.88. So a lot of that time could be reliever, stuff like that. I didn't really get to listen to a lot of RailCats games last year just because I was coaching football, different things like that, and not always able to catch the games. But I am diving full into this. They're going to have my full attention next year. So when the next year rolls around or I have end of year stats, I'll have a better idea of what I'm really talking about. I'm not saying I don't have an idea. It's just not fully there. It's just one of those that if you don't hear it enough, see it enough, you sometimes don't quite understand it. But with that being said, I know the biggest thing with the RailCats that you could always put a staple on, no matter what it was, the RailCats manager, Craig Taggart. He was with the RailCats for 17 years. Now 16 seasons because of COVID, but 17 years. And he decided that this year he is moving forward and moving on because he got a job offer from the San Francisco Giants, actually by a former player, Kyle Haynes. So his role is to help rehabilitate veteran players and break in rookies at the Scottsdale, Arizona facility for the Giants. So he has a very stationed job, and he said that that's one of those that he was kind of looking at as a good thing, to kind of settle down, have a nice end to his coaching career, maybe, or maybe not. Who knows what he wants to do? It's all up to him, but it sounds like he's got a nice cushy job. Get to sit down, relax, stay in the beautiful desert of Scottsdale, Arizona, enjoy the heat, get out of the Midwest. Very stationed job, which I think he's something that he would like to stay with. So his resume is unbelievable what he did with the RailCats. In his first year of coaching, they won the Northern League in 2005. That was his first year with the RailCats. I mean, what a way to start that off. And, I mean, even at that, from 2005 to 2000, for 5 seasons. So that was from 2010 that they made it to the league finals. And they won the league twice, which was in 2005 and 2007. And Taggart was the main reason. I would say it's one of the many reasons why he is going to be for a long time the best RailCats manager. I mean, they started out in 2001, and he steps in and he gets you 2 titles in 2 years. Like, that's crazy. That's good. I mean, and being there for that long is also so good. They also won the American Association in 2013. He was named Manager of the Year 3 times, 07, 09, and 16, which I'm really surprised that he didn't win it in 13 or maybe even 05, just because it seemed like he took a team that maybe not the 05 to 10 era, but that 13 year, because they missed the playoffs, then won, and then they missed a handful more years after that. So, I mean, there's been quite a bit of missing the playoffs, but also making the playoffs, a lot of exiting the first round. but in his career, he went 835 wins with 749 losses. Uh, you know, he's just one person that I would say he gave a lot to the community as well. He was good to the RailCats community, and I think fans loved him. If I'm wrong, you go right ahead and correct me. But I think he will for now be the greatest RailCats manager of all time. Not saying that the new hire of Lamarr Rodgers. And watch out, this guy. He may help. He may help turn this program around a little bit here. He is the new manager of the Gary South Shore RailCats. He is the fourth manager in team history. He is the first African American to manage in the American Association. Let me see here. Since Vince Moore, and third across the 4 professional MLB partner leagues. And I mean that's you're breaking the color barrier there, which I think helps out, especially in that community, being predominantly African Americans. It's good to see it. It brings more diversity to the league, to the team, and his resume, it seems outstanding. He started his managerial career in the Houston Astros organization. Now, I know what some of you may say about the Houston Astros, but doesn't mean he was up with the big ball club. He was down with the Houston Astros Rookie League affiliate, the Greenville Astros, so he wasn't part of the scandals or anything like that. But in his first year, in 2015, he was named manager of the Appalachian League. Well, my bad. Hold on. I got some chicken scratch. Sometimes this is gonna happen. I get ahead of myself. But in his first year, they won the Appalachian League and was named co-manager of the year. So in his first year, he got some hardware right away. And the next year, he was named manager of the Tri-City Valley Cats, which was a New York Penn League affiliate. So Coach Rodgers quotes, "I am beyond humbled and appreciative of the opportunity to manage the Gary South Shore RailCat team, cultivate relationships in the Gary community, and return to the American Association," unquote. So I think he brings a great bit of knowledge to the team. He was drafted. Oh, he's also a Chicago native too, as well. Don't forget that. He was selected by the Kansas City Royals. Oh, my bad. Oops. Sorry. Oop. I was looking at it. That's Darrell Robinson, who is the new hitting coach. I'll get to him in a second. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place a little bit. With what I have here. So I think Lamarr is going to bring some good knowledge. He will help out the team a lot, get a different perspective on the game, bring a little enthusiasm, bring some great experience at all different kinds of leagues. I think that's what, the RailCats needs, a little bit of experience outside of one single-minded person. You bring in a whole new crew except one person. This is, I think, a good opportunity for the RailCats to really bring something new to the table and get a different idea. So let's go ahead and get to the new hitting coach, which is Darrell Robinson. He is a Chicago native, like I said. He was selected in the second round by the Kansas City Royals of the 1986 Major League Draft out of Whitney Young Magnet High School. He played 7 seasons in the Royal system, reaching as high as AA. So upon conclusion of his playing career, Robinson joined the Houston Astros organization and became the hitting coach for their High A affiliate, the Lancers Jayhawks. There he developed the next wave of Astros. That includes Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, George Springer, who they went on and helped win the 2017 World Series. And I think that is great news for the RailCats. I really think that brings the next level to know that you have a guy in your system, in your coaching staff, that put out prolific players, superstars. I mean, some of them might even end up in the Hall of Fame. Now, with being said what happened, who knows? But I don't. That's not a discredit to Robinson. He took those players at their very young stage and helped them. He helped them get to the major leagues. All right, whatever happened in the major leagues has nothing. Whatever they did in the major leagues, legal, not legal, doesn't have to do with Coach Robinson. That's not what I'm getting at. But he brings the knowledge, very, very wealthy knowledge, and very wealthy knowledge of the game itself. I mean, he's been there, he's done it, and he will be very good. Lamarr Rodgers, new manager, he said, quote, Darrell brings a wealth of knowledge, experience both as a player and a hitting coach, unquote. He also said, quote, his track record of success in both Astros and Phillies organization will be an asset to our hitters. And Gary, I feel very lucky to have him on the staff, unquote. I did see the Philadelphia Flyers. He did, not Flyers, my bad, hockey on the mind. But he was a hitting coach for the Phillies AAA affiliate as well. So he's, like I said, the knowledge is there. That man has knowledge and is going to be something special. And then the new catching coach is Guy Sinjamin. I probably butchered that. I apologize. But he did play for the RailCats during their 2007 North League Championship season. He played at Iowa State University for college in 1997. His contract was purchased by the Reds. He spent 5 seasons in the affiliate. Baseball splits between the Reds and Colorado Rockies. And he had a brief stint, so he had some time around. He'll bring something new. Rodgers said, quote, Guy will be a Swiss Army knife on the coaching staff, unquote. Quote, he will primarily serve as a catching coach, but he will also be our assistant hitting coach and third base coach. He brings value, professional playing experience from his time with the Reds and Rockies, along over 15 years in player development. I'm excited to welcome him back to the Cats family, unquote. So the 2 new guys definitely bringing experience. The only returner this year is Tom Thornton. Looking at his career, this would be his 3rd year as the pitching coach. Since having a 10-year absence, he helped develop Trevor Lubking in one of the top arms of the American Association, while 3 other pitchers Adam Hiedfelder, Noah Clenley, and David Griffin had their contracts purchased by MLB organizations. He's held the same position with the RailCats 2011, a year in which the team barely missed the playoffs with a 54-46 record, and 7 qualified pitchers compiled earned run average under 4. Like I said, he had a 10-year stint. So that's for the 2011, so on and so forth. Just looking at his career a little bit here, he was taken by the Detroit Tigers in 2006 as a 21st round. He played at the University of Notre Dame. He posted a 2.4 record with a 333 run average, a 1.247 whip, and 31 strikeouts in his one season with the organization as a member of the short season Anton Tigers. Probably butchered that as well. He played 4 years in independent baseball with the Traverse City Beach Bums, Nasha Pride, Evansville Otters, Schaumburg Flyers, while also spending 2 seasons as a RailCat. So this is your new coach. This is your coaching staff. I know I probably butchered a lot of that, and I apologize for that. Like I said, not good with names. I apologize to everyone that I have offended or hurt on that aspect of it. But if you want to read more into that, just go to RailCatsBaseball.com. They have the coaching announcements posted up. You could read more into their quick, brief rundown of everyone, of what everyone said, management, so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm excited. Just the kind of the plans going forward. I will break down some of the new signings that the RailCats made. Looking at the schedules, what to look for, what to hopefully expect, what expectations would you guys want from the RailCats, maybe what's exciting about the RailCats to you, what's exciting about going to the games, so on and so forth, that kind of things, get a little fan interaction, maybe your input to put in perspective of different things. So I've really enjoyed trying this out. I know it was a rough little start here, but I promise it'll get better. I will get better. Just bear with me a little bit. I will make sure that it'll be a smooth running ship. Hopefully by the end of the season. I just can't wait to get it actually started. So I'll just, as we're at the end here, I'll explain the game plan. At least once a week, I'm try to push for Fridays. Friday afternoons, probably around noon, I'll upload a podcast on YouTube. That'll just kind of be a weekend review. If I missed some games here and there, look at the upcoming schedules, kind of talk about what I've seen, what other people have seen. And then, like I said, games. If I'm able to watch a game and have time to record something and then post it, will probably be the next day, I will. I'll take some time to edit the video or edit the podcast, get it uploaded, so on and so forth. So that'll be the plan. Like I said, I may miss some games here and there. I'll try to keep much updated as possible. I'll also send out tweets as well to let you know what's going on, if I'm going to be doing a podcast or if I'm going to be covering the game. Like, I'll cover the game. I'll put out maybe not highlights. I'll still work that kind of stuff out. I'll see what I want to do with that. But I'll put up, different things, who's starting, lineups, things like that. You probably also find that from the RailCats Twitter handle as well. I'm just more of a secondary. Like I said, I'm going to promote the RailCats as much as possible. That's what this podcast is about. It's not about me. It's about them. It's about the organization. It's about the players, about the coaching staff. I'm just a voice who wants to cover them, to get them acknowledged, and and give back entertainment to the fans, to get a different media realm than just, Twitter and just watching the games. And people have opinions, and I'd love to hear the opinions. Get more people out to the games. When they go, they know who the players are, they can get excited about it, so on and so forth. So that's gonna wrap it up for me. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at RailCats Talk. I know when you look at the Twitter handle, it kind of looks a little weird, but if you follow me on there, you get updates of what's going on, what the plan is. But I appreciate you staying through this whole 41-minute process to get it going. Like I said, my name is Kyle. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you also enjoy it, share it with other RailCats fans. And let's hope for a great 2022 season. I'm excited for this to be the very first one. And enjoy the rest of your night, day, whatever time zone it is. Remember, go Cats.